I was actually raised in the Catholic Church, and as I got into high school, I got really involved with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. That's really where my personal relationship with God started, I feel like. And through high school, I was very passionate about church and Jesus and God, and very much into praying and Bible study. Studied my Bible all the time, and was in my mind felt like I was really devoted, and I was really devoted to being involved in the church and living my life for Jesus. As I got out of high school, and went off to college, and there was no one great big incident. Just started to get out of some of those habits and started to drift away a little bit from that. Never lost my faith in Jesus, didn't believe that Jesus died for my sins, and never believed that I wasn't saved or any of that. Just wasn't living my life in that fashion, and through college, became very disenfranchised with church. Some of the just human elements of being involved in a group of people in church, the hypocrisy of some of the stuff, and just became very dissatisfied with that aspect of it. So probably 22, 23 years old, just quit going. Had other things I wanted to do. I was working in school, trying to work a full-time job, sometimes working a full-time job and a part-time job, and being in school full-time. And just didn't make it a priority, and I felt like I was going in the right direction, and if I had a difficulty or something I wanted to pray about, I could do that. I like to spend a lot of time outdoors, hunting and fishing and doing things like that, and in my mind I felt like if I was in God's creation on Sunday morning, that was just as good as being in church. I met a girl, and we started dating, and she had been very religious and had been brought up in church her whole life. And after we started dating, she would invite me to go with her, and I would always find a reason not to. And we rocked along there and got along really well, and eventually got married after seeing each other for a couple of years. Throughout our marriage, we went to several different churches. We could never find a church that worked for us because I just didn't want to be there. As bad as it sounds, at this point, I didn't want to be inconvenienced by it. Had other things to do. At this time, I'm out of college, I'm out of graduate school, I'm working on a professional career, and in my mind, that's what a good husband should do. Provide your family with a home and the resources to have a good home, and completely and totally ignored the responsibility of being the spiritual leader of our family. And it got pretty discouraging to faith at times, because she would go to church, and she would take our daughter, and then she would have to explain to everybody in church that yes, in fact, she was married, she wasn't divorced or widowed, that she just had a husband that didn't want to go to church. Looking back on it now, I can tell, in all the ways my life suffered by not doing it. I was so focused on my work and the things I wanted to do and the things that I felt I had to do to take care of my family, that I neglected the most important thing in taking care of my family, which was to be the spiritual leader of our house.